你们好. In this video, I'm going to cover some grammar points from 第七课对话2 Lesson 7 Dialogue 2. Grammar 7 in your textbook covers this term 怎么, and 怎么 can be translated as how to, or how come, depending on context. So let's look at a few examples. 汉字怎么写? Chinese characters, how to write. So this could be translated as how does one write Chinese characters, or how do you write Chinese characters? The second example is 我们怎么回家? We, how to return home. So how do we get home? How do we go home? Would be the translation. In the third example, it says B because it's actually example B under grammar 7 in the textbook. And it says this, 你怎么才来? 你怎么才来? And that means how come you just came, or how come you have just arrived. If you recall 才, usually 才comes right after a time, so this is actually short for 你怎么现在才来? Because 现在 is implied, you're talking to that person right now. Both are correct. Okay, this is example C in grammar 7, and it states this. 你怎么没去看电影? You, how come, didn't go to see a movie? So recall 没 plus an action makes it negative past tense. So how come you didn't go see a movie? Recall that 怎么 is used in this sentence in this lesson. 你平常来得很早. 今天怎么这么晚? You usually come very early. Today, how come you're so late? And so here we have a new term 这么 that appears in your 生词, your vocabulary, that I want to talk about a little bit. 这么 can be used in several ways, and if you look it up in a dictionary, you're going to find the definition as so much, this much, or even like this. Well, in the context of this lesson, it can often be translated as so or this, and it's saying that there's so much of this adjective that follows. Let's take a look at these examples. In our text, we have this sentence, 你平常来得很早. 今天怎么这么晚? You usually come very early. Today, how come you're so late? You can also say today, how come you're this late, right? So and this both work here. How come you're this late today? How come you're so late today? Let's look at the second example. 你中文说得这么快，我不懂. You speak Chinese so fast, I don't understand. Let's see if this works, okay? You speak Chinese this fast. I don't understand. As you can see, using this here sounds a little awkward. But if you think about it, when you say something like this, you're speaking to the person, and the person you're speaking to is speaking Chinese very fast. And you're telling the person, when you speak Chinese fast, like this, I don't understand. So you can see why 这么 is used here. But of course in English, in this instance, it's best to translate it as so. You speak Chinese so fast, I don't understand. The third example, 王鹏汉字怎么写得这么慢? How come Wang Peng writes Chinese characters so slowly? Or how come Wang Peng writes Chinese characters this slowly? Both would work. Grammar 8 in your book talks about the structure, and basically it's adjective plus the character the. And your textbook explains it as this. When you see adjective plus the, this whole word functions as a noun. You consider it as a noun. And also you can often translate it as the one, okay, or ones. So let's take a look at some examples. The first one is, 我有两支笔，一支大的，一支小的. I have two pens, a big one and a small one. One works really great here. In the second example, 他是一个男的. He is a guy. One that is male. Now, one doesn't work quite as well in English, but that's okay. It means he's a guy. So this is how I think about it. I actually think about it this way. 我有两支笔 I have two pens 一支大的笔 one that is a big pen 一支小的笔 one small pen and so I have two pens a big pen and a small pen and you can see that I repeated this word 笔 3 times by context, I already know that I'm talking about B, so the subsequent B are actually redundant. Therefore, in Chinese, you can get rid of these because the context is already known. You already know you're talking about B, and therefore it becomes 我有两支笔，一支大的，一支小的。In the second example, I think of this as 他是一个男的人。He is something. What is he? He is a person. 人，他是一个人。What kind of person? 男的人。A person who is male. Okay, 男的人。But because when I'm talking to you, we both know that he is a person. Therefore, I can get rid of this 人. It becomes 他是一个男的。He is a male person. He is a guy. Grammar 9 talks about connecting sentences in a continuous discourse, and basically it talks about if a subject is unchanged, you can actually omit it or replace it with a pronoun to make it flow better. So let's look at example 1 that I wrote below. 王鹏是李友的朋友。王鹏帮李友复习中文。王鹏教李友写汉字。王鹏常常跟李友预习中文课。Wang Peng is Leo's friend. Wang Peng helps Leo review Chinese. Wang Peng teaches Leo how to write Chinese characters. Wang Peng often previews or studies in advance for Chinese class with Leo. And so as you can see, it's kind of choppy, right? So let's change some of these into pronouns and see how it changes. In example 2, I kept everything the same, except I substituted Wang Peng with 他, the pronoun 他 in all subsequent sentences. 王鹏是李友的朋友，他帮李友复习中文，他教李友写汉字，他常常跟李友预习中文课。It actually sounds much better than the first one. But let's see if we can omit some of these 他 in example 3. Okay, here in example 3, I kept the pronoun in the second sentence, but then I combined all of these sentences and omitted the 他 altogether. So it became 王鹏是李友的朋友，他帮李友复习中文，教李友写汉字，常常跟李友预习中文课。王鹏 is Leo's friend. He helps Leo review Chinese, teaches Leo how to write Chinese characters, and often studies Chinese class in advance with Leo. And by doing so, it actually flows much better. Point D in Grammar 9 in your textbook talks about how you can use time and location expressions as transitional elements, and let me illustrate. Let's say that in this third sentence, helping Leo review and teaching Leo 写汉字 occurred on the same day. So let's add a day as a transition. So here I have 王鹏是李友的朋友，昨天他帮李友复习中文，教李友写汉字。But because you know 常常 is frequently, that can't just be yesterday. I am going to end it right here. And then I'm going to add a pronoun here, 他。他常常跟李友预习中文课。It flows pretty well. Here it says Wang Peng is Leo's friend. Yesterday, he helped Leo preview Chinese and helped Leo write Chinese characters. 他常常跟李友预习中文课 and he often does this. Now, because this all happened yesterday, yet he often does this, it's nice to add a conjunction too. I am going to put 也 there. And now it sounds much better. 王鹏是李友的朋友。昨天他帮李友复习中文，教李友写汉字。他也常常跟李友预习中文课。So as you can see, you can use time as a transition for things that happen at the same time, or you can use a place preceding activities that occur at the same place. You can use other conjunctions such as 也 to help transition and make it smoother. That's all I have for 第7课对话2的语法 The Grammar of Lesson 7, Dialogue 2. 希望对你有帮助。Hope you found it helpful. 再见。